What's up, everybody? Welcome into a special edition of Bills Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. Good to see everybody. I know it's been a while. Of course, here today we start with the big news as we wrap up day one of free agency 2014. Of course, by now I'm sure everybody out there knows Jairus Byrd is no longer a Buffalo Bill. Reportedly now, actually it's been confirmed. New Orleans Saints have signed Jairus Byrd now to a 6-year, $54 million contract. Um, we all anticipated at this point that Jairus Byrd was not going to return to Buffalo, but at the same time, maybe I'm speaking for myself here. Um, Even though I was fully prepared for this to happen, it doesn't make it any easier to see him walk away. It's tough to envision Jairus Byrd playing in anything other than a Buffalo Bills uniform. He's been a special player. He's been a gifted player. He's been a guy that's just done so much for this defense over the past 5 years, and a guy that, I mean, they call him the ball hawk for a reason. This was a guy who is always at the right place at the right time, creating turnovers. He's a hardworking guy. He's more than just your average free safety, a guy that's just kind of on the back end, your center fielder. He does so much more than that, and it's a shame to watch, to see him leave and to move on with another team. Obviously, I want to wish him the best of luck. This is what this is all about. This is real concise here. I want to say on behalf of hopefully a lot of Bills fans out there to Jairus Byrd, thank you so much for 5 wonderful seasons. Good luck in New Orleans. We're all going to be rooting for you, and you couldn't have asked for again a better player to come into Buffalo, a rookie, a guy who from day one just made an impact, and he walked away with 3 Pro Bowls in Buffalo. So this was a guy that represented the Bills well and represented the city well. And again, good luck and thank you, Jairus Byrd, for your service with the Buffalo Bills. Now, that being said, let's get to the news stuff. Let's get to the real things that have been happening, of course, at One Bills Drive and elsewhere. A lot has been happening. We can't cover everything, of course, but let's just say a lot of money was spent today. A lot of big-name players, high-priced free agents moving cities, going to different places. So the Bills were not involved too much today with any free agent signings. They made a couple small moves, re-signing Dan Carpenter. They get him back for 4 years. That's a great move. This was a guy who was tremendous last year at kicker for us. Had 33 field goals. I mean, he was just wonderful. It's great to see him. He wants to be in Buffalo. I'm so happy and thrilled. He's going to be here for the next 4 years. The Bills re-signed Matt Cousin, tight end. We haven't been seeing him really for the past couple of years here. Probably just re-signing him for insurance in case anything happens with the tight ends that we have right now. That's a bit of a need for this team, and during free agency and the draft, of course. And the Bills officially today cut ties with quarterback Kevin Kolb. This was a move we all knew was coming. Still, it's unfortunate. I mean, for me, it's unfortunate because, again, you were hoping that he would be here to mentor, E.J. Manuel. Unfortunately, the concussions just piled up on this guy throughout his career. It sucks to see him. Possibly his career could potentially be over now. We don't know if he's going to get another shot with another team. At the same time, though, I mean, this was something that the Bills, clearly they needed to move on from him. And now I think the Bills definitely have a need, at least to bring in somebody, a veteran guy, who could compete behind E.J. Manuel and go to work with Jeff Toole and Thad Lewis during training camp. So I think the Bills are probably going to be in the market for a backup quarterback. Who's available, I'm not really sure. I'm not going to name names here, but I definitely think the Bills are going to explore that. So, of course, now, again, other than that, the Bills haven't been doing much here. We know, of course, they lose Jairus Byrd. The Jairus Byrd thing here, clearly, I mean, he leaves, and, honest to God, the situation is now, it's next man up. The Bills clearly have prepared themselves now, re-signing Aaron Williams a week ago, getting him to a 4-year deal. He's going to be now the new de facto leader at safety right now. You look at this roster, obviously last year they spent 2 draft picks on safeties, Duke Williams, Jonathan Meeks. So now, basically this team now, it's time for whoever is going to come in here to step up. That's just basically how it's going to be. You can't complain. You can't say, oh, what are we going to do without, an all-pro safety here. Really, this roster, it's a lot of youth at that position. including Aaron Williams. I mean, you've still got Denoris Cersei. He's been around for a couple of years. I'm not quite sold on him. The jury's still out, I think, there. But again, they have some talent to work with here. I think I would expect this team to go out and bring in a veteran guy who they can plug in and play right away. I was thinking Luis Delmas from Detroit would be that guy, given his ties with Jim Schwartz. Obviously, he went to Miami yesterday. So, again, who is it going to be? We don't know at this point. But I would be more than surprised if this team didn't go out and get themselves at least a stopgap kind of a player, guy who's going to maybe just fill in for at least for this season at free safety or strong safety, depending on what they want to do with Aaron Williams. I think he's versatile enough where it doesn't really matter where he is lined up on defense. But I think for the most part, this team is probably going to go out. We know they have other needs. We know at tight end, that's definitely a position that with Scott Chandler walking away, we don't really have anybody on the roster right now who I think can be a 16-game starter, a guy that's going to go out there and make plays. So tight end is a need, of course. Offensive line, you got to retool the offensive line. We still have a need at left guard. I mean, this was something that was interesting that I was thinking today was, I mean, Andy Levitree left a year ago, and we still haven't found a replacement for him. This is the time to go out, kind of bolster that line. Right tackle, we could probably use an upgrade there. And, of course, the defensively, linebacker is the given. Everybody's been talking about the last few weeks how with Jim Schwartz now, we're probably going to need, well, even regardless of who the coordinator is, we need talent at linebacker. This is a horribly weak position for us on defense outside of Kiko Alonso. You know, maybe Manny Lawson, we don't know if he's going to fit into whatever this new system is. So, again, this team for certainly is going to need to go out. We know there's been some guys that have been on some free agent visits in Buffalo the past couple of days, so we'll see who they go out and sign. Again, there's a lot more that's going to happen here. Any big Bills-related news, we're going to be back to talk about, of course. And, you know, obviously the draft is 2 months away, so whatever the Bills can address in free agency, of course they're going to go into the draft and address those needs there. So we'll see what happens. Again, any big Bills-related news, we'll be here on Bills Report to talk about it, of course. I want to hear what your reaction is. Again, Bills fans, what do you think now of Jairus Byrd leaving now? He's going down to New Orleans. Does this surprise you? Were you... I mean, you honestly had to have been living under a rock if you weren't expecting him to not be a Bill or to come back to Buffalo, because most of the general public knew he was moving on here. But does it surprise you? I mean, New Orleans wasn't really talked about as a team that would have been linked to Jairus Byrd. Now they get him. They pair him up now with Kenny Vaccaro. That's going to be a really good-looking defense in 2014. So I'm interested in seeing what they do. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to this short edition of Bills Report. We'll be back here again. Anything big Bills-related news, we'll talk about it. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy more free agency hoopla and craziness. See you later, guys. Have a good night. Peace out.